That this bill will now be read a second time. Call the member for Newtown.
Thank you, Madam Temporary Speaker. I rise to add my contribution to this debate and support the member for Ballina, Tamara Smith, who spoke on behalf of the Greens to say that we oppose this bill and have serious concerns about the impact that this bill will have on work-life balance for many people. I wanted to rise specifically to put on the record briefly on behalf of the over 3,000 residents in the electorate of Newtown that work within the retail industry, but also of the thousands of others who have family members that work in retail that will be impacted by these changes. And the real concern that I think is there, because many of those people that work in retail within the electorate of Newtown are young people, the real concern there is that those young people do not and will not be able to freely elect as to whether or not they want to work. As someone that remembers very clearly being in the casual workforce, I know that when you are a casual and you are told to work at a function on a Sunday, or when you are told to rock up for a work on a Sunday, if you have other plans, if you have other commitments, you can sure make the choice to say, no, I'm not going to come in that day. You can freely elect to do that. But what that will mean is you won't be rostered on the next week, and you probably won't have a job as a result of not turning up. The other side of it is that we see that we're looking at the idea of Boxing Day, and we know that many families and many people at this time of the year will be negotiating the logistics, if you like, around the Christmas Boxing Day period. If, in my case, that means you have some family in Adelaide, you have some family in Hobart, and you have some family in Sydney, that means the challenge of negotiating the logistics of which part of the family you spend that time with. In another case, someone else that I know has some family in Picton, has some family in Ballina, and has some family on the Central Coast. Negotiating how you manage to spend this family time over one day, because actually you're required to be back at work on the second day, is of huge concern. What we should be seeing by this government, what we should be seeing by this place, is how we are addressing and approaching our society and the laws that we make that seek to protect people's ability to work within a community, but also to have connection to a family and an understanding of well-being. And public holidays are just that. They are public holidays that everyone should have the right and the luxury to enjoy, and they are hard-won holidays. And those rights of workers to be able to actually not have to put work before their family life and before their well-being should be protected. And that is why the Greens strongly oppose this bill, and we strongly urge the government to not go ahead with this, because what we will see is a huge impact on young casual workers, a huge impact on people being able to spend time with their families, and that is not what we should be doing in the lead up to Christmas. We should be encouraging them to be able to spend more time with their families, not actually preventing them from being able to do that by eating into people's public holidays.